I do want to say something positive. We saw another clip this week, and listen, he's established and maybe not seeking a bunch of these big movie roles anymore, but Kelsey Grammer has gotten, I think, bolder with his politics as he's gotten older. And so has Mel Gibson, but Mel Gibson's been canceled and has the freedom that comes from being canceled. You know, I mean, it's great to see him ripping all of his thoughts politically, but he had something traumatic happen to him. He was very, very canceled. Kelsey never was. And he's just sort of grown into it, I think, with age. He was caught on camera. This is credit to Nick Balassi. And here's the exchange. Watch here, SOT 20.
Hey, Kelsey, can you tell us what you think about Trump's job performance so far in his first term or second term?
I think he's great.
What issues are you most concerned about that he's doing well on?
Well, I think the economy's actually going really well.
I think so too.
And we'll see what happens in the next year or so. I mean, what I always love is when the Democrats start talking about affordability, you always know they're going to charge you twice as much and spend 3 times as much.
By the way, his first answer was, I think he's kicking ass. The reporter stepped on him a bit, but that's what he said. That's courageous, Andrew.
Yeah, John Voight too. I mean, you know, you can't stop these guys. But again,
Sly.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, these guys are older, and I'm not knocking their courage. They've been pretty open about who they are for a long time. But it's the young guys I worry about, because I've seen some of the actors we're talking about right now. I've seen them take young actors aside and say, keep it down if you want to keep your careers. They know that when you're young and you don't.
Well, let me ask you a quick question about that. Forgive the interruption. Why can't Schwarzenegger is obviously also a Republican. He's not a Trump-publican, but he's a Republican. Why can't Sly Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Mel Gibson and some of these other guys get together and form their own production company? Like, I know the Daily Wire makes some films that are more conservative, but I'm talking about like mega Hollywood connection people who have the juice, the connections, and the dough to fund films. They don't even have to be conservative films. They just have to uncancel the canceled conservative actors. Just let them act in anything. Yeah,
it's tough because a lot of artists are not businessmen. I mean, I'm not a businessman. You know, I mean, I do a thing. I'm a guy who does a thing, and I do it. You know, I dedicated my life to it. I gave everything to it. But I'm not somebody who could build a business. I'm not somebody who could put that together. And maybe that's true of some of these guys too. You know, and Sylvester Stallone is a really interesting example because he won a Kennedy Award, and some people were making fun of him because he was in a lot of, you know, Rambo 8 and, you know, Rocky 12 and all that stuff, which I heard him along the way. I heard him on TV kind of complaining about that, because the funny thing about Sylvester Stallone, he has that voice like he's a palooka. You know, he sounds like he's not that bright, but he's in fact a very, very talented man. And he made one of the classic American movies. There are not that many people who can say that. Rocky is a classic American movie, and some of the other films that he's been in have been quite good, and some of his performances have been excellent. He deserved that award. You know, it's funny, he deserved that award, but he's not somebody who's popular with the elites, you know. And I think all of these guys understand that's the case. And who knows? I mean, maybe they're just artists, and artists are not always the best businessmen. Most of us have agents. Most of us have publishers. Well,
that's actually one of the challenges to news people getting into the podcast lane, because most of us never had to run a business. Right. We were just, quote, talent. Again, I always laugh that that's the word that the talent used to describe itself. We'll call ourselves the talent. But they're used to just being talent, and they don't know how to run a business. So it's an obstacle. Now, I do think all of this is relevant to what we should be rooting for on this purchase war for Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, one of the original and big 5 Hollywood movie studios, like still cranking out films that we see in the theater, not direct to streaming, not direct to the little box in your living room, but like the theater experience. And it makes me think of like Tom Cruise when Top Gun Maverick came out, and he was like, I make movies for the big screen. That's what I do. I make big movies for the big theater. That's my craft. And I get it. Like, there's almost like a not in a negative way, but like a snobbishness toward like going direct to streaming. But for these big Hollywood stars who are used to audiences having the experience that you have in the theater with the surround sound and the huge screen and your fellow Americans around you, you know, some talking too loud, some laughing with you, some crying with you, in any event. So now we have a deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers. Netflix has got more money than God, and they're acquiring Warner Brothers for $82.5 billion. Warner Brothers agreed to sell to Netflix. Netflix is terrible. It's not to say I don't like some of its movies, and I do watch Netflix, but their ownership is disgusting. They're far left, and they're destroying America. I mean, just to take a quick walk down that lane, they're in the news today for some movie called Queen of Coal, and I do mean Queen. Here's the soundbite from the trailer that we cut. Watch.
If you say you're a woman now, then you'll have to do women's work. And you know this company assigns different jobs to it.
It's not what they're doing to you.
No one can take away what you've earned, Carly. You earned it. It's yours.
I'm a minor, Violet. A minor.
Miss Carbone, inspired by the true story of Carlita and Rodriguez, I think it said. Okay, so here's the story. It's based on a true story of a trans woman, meaning a fake woman, who dreams of working the coal mines. But in a town steeped in superstition and patriarchy, Carlita, as the real name is Carlos, must fight to earn her place underground. And it stars Lux Pascal, a trans-identifying man, which again means a man who's pretending to be a woman, who's the brother of an existing Hollywood star, Pedro Pascal. And this is what they want to show us, how coal miners are a bunch of scumbags who didn't immediately accept a man pretending to be a woman underground in the coal mines. That's what Netflix is devoting its time, money, and attention to. Concerned Women for America, per the Daily Wire, just released a report on Monday finding 41% of children's content on Netflix contains LGBTQ themes.
Yeah.
41, nearly half. Okay, so this is not a children's film, but I'm just talking about the children's films. Almost half of them have LGBTQ content. Oh, so that's Netflix. So I'm not rooting for Netflix to amass more studios, more control over filmmaking or artistry whatsoever. Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste delicious too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash and no bloat. And if you love Masa, then you will love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, which is Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips too. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code MK for 25% off your first order at masachips.com or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick a couple of bags up before they're all gone. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.